Today I want to talk about the hot topic of Islamic Jihad, Dawah and Taqiyya. Now listen to what the Muslim skeptics say.
The first thing to debunk is the apologetic claim that Islam means peace, because they say things like, no, Islam means peace. This type of response only reinforces the impression people have that Muslims are hiding the true nature of their religion and are being dishonest about Islamic doctrines like jihad.
So let me clarify the meaning of jihad and also the related terms Dawah and Taqiyya. And by the way, if you want to follow this lecture based on my book Ask Your Muslim Friend, you will find these topics in sections 1.5.3, 4 and 5. You can download the ebook version from our website. Now, we will look at the following. What does jihad mean and what is its significance? Do all Muslims interpret and practice the teaching of jihad in the same way? What is Dawah? How important is Dawah to the average Muslim? And finally, what is Taqiyya? What is the use of Taqiyya common among Muslim people? In my encounters with Muslims, I have observed that often they count jihad as the sixth duty or pillar of Islam. For many Muslims, jihad is very important in their lives. The word jihad is usually translated as holy war by the Western media. The Arabic term, the verb jahada, means effort in Allah's way or striving in faith. In the Medina era of Muhammad's life, during AD 622 till about 632, jihad was mainly understood by the Muslims as fighting. In those years, Muslims were confronted with numerous fights and battles led by the army leader Muhammad. The following distinction is common and practiced by many Muslims. First, the Greater Jihad means the inner striving for personal perfection, imposed by the Qur'an and even more important by the many stories from the Hadith. Secondly, the so-called Lesser Jihad means the effort to propagate Islam worldwide and introduce the Shari'a in every country. The Greater Jihad means for most Muslims the daily struggle to keep as much as possible the 5 duties of Islam and to believe in the 6 articles of faith. Especially keeping the 5 duties, such as praying 5 times a day, is a daily struggle, and most Muslims fail to keep this command and other duties perfectly. What happens if a Muslim cannot keep all these many demands from Allah? How much is the punishment from Allah? My observance is that Muslims live in fear of the possible consequences. It could even mean not being able to enter paradise. I remember one young Muslim man told me that as long as he is young, he does not care about keeping all the duties. It is too much effort and anyway impossible to keep them 100%. He just takes life easy and wants to enjoy a lifestyle that he chooses without the difficult demands from Allah. Nevertheless, he said that perhaps when he is elderly, he will try to keep the demands and hopefully please Allah so that when he dies, he will be able to enter paradise. The Lesser Jihad concept includes the territorial spread of Islam. It means that the final goal is to conquer all countries in the world for Islam and establish the Sharia to be the state law everywhere. The Muslim concept is that the earth will be Allah's kingdom and that all people must submit to Him. This concept of Islam is contrary to the Christian understanding that the earth will be terminated and God will live with His people in the heavenly realms. The Christianity, it will be a spiritual kingdom and not an earthly kingdom as in Islam. So Muslims are ordered by Allah to fight until the earthly kingdom is established. In Surah 8, verse 39, it says, "And fight them on until there is no more tumult or oppression, and there prevail justice and faith in Allah altogether and everywhere." Militant Muslims use every means at hand to spread Islam, including physical force. Their worldview is divided into two parts. First, one part is called Dar al-Harb, which is the world of war. This is the part that is not yet conquered for Islam and where the Sharia is not yet established. Secondly, the other part is called Dar al-Islam, which is the world of Islam. This is the part of the world where Islam is already established and the Sharia is the state law. So many Muslim groups believe deeply that the fight is ordered and the killing of non-Muslims is the will of Allah. There are several verses in the Qur'an which support this view. This is most likely the main reason why militant groups such as the Hamas in Palestine are proud to use terror and kill so-called unclean people such as Jews and Christians. One of the verses in the Quran which supports their action is in Surah 61, verses 11 to 13. Here it says that those who fight for Allah in person and use their belongings will be forgiven of their sins and be rewarded with a beautiful place in paradise. The state of war will continue until all the world belongs to Islam. It is impossible and not acceptable for radical Muslims that other religions may coexist side by side with Islam. Christians know about the call for global mission, to call all people to follow Jesus. Thus, Christians are aware of the Great Commission as stated, for instance, in Matthew chapter 28, verses 18 to 20. What about the Muslim people? Yes, Islam is also a mission-oriented religion and Muslims are called to invite people to accept Islam. Islamic mission is called Dawah, and the most popular text in the Quran is in Surah 16, verse 125, where it says, "Invite all the way of thy Lord with wisdom and beautiful preaching, and argue with them in ways that are best and most gracious. For thy Lord knoweth best who have strayed from his path and who receive guidance." This verse is of course in sharp contrast to other verses in the Quran which call Muslims to kill other people from other faiths. What should Muslims do therefore? Which command should they follow? Should they preach or just kill? Another question, if radical Muslims just kill all non-Muslims, how can they preach to them and invite them to become Muslims since they are dead? Let us now look at another Arabic word and how it is interpreted and practiced. It is taqiyya. It is mentioned in several verses in the Quran. This word its meaning and its practice are known by most Muslims, and they are free to use it anytime. Let us imagine the following situation. If a Muslim is trapped by a stronger enemy, he may use deception and even lies to escape from his temporary predicament. Taqiyya means caution, fear, disguise. It legitimates all activities in words and deeds contrary to what one might think is the right belief or conduct. For instance, to display love outwardly, but inwardly to hate, or evince loyalty outwardly, but inwardly to feel enmity and hatred. These actions are all for the cause of Islam, which means basically if a Muslim can justify any action as for the advance of Islam, then it is legitimate and Allah will be pleased. It can be practiced, if necessary, under oath. I do not want to say that all Muslims are deceivers and liars. However, the fact is that even Muslims among each other so often do not trust each other. I have experienced that certain Muslims trust me, being a Christian, more than their so-called Muslim brothers who might belong to another Islamic group. It is important for people of other faith than Islam to know about this doctrine and always be on guard that even your Muslim friend may use taqiyya at any time, since he is convinced that he acts according to the laws of Islam, and this act will be pleasing to Allah. Now listen again to what this Muslim YouTuber says about jihad.
Unfortunately, some Muslims have responded to this by throwing away the concept of jihad as a whole, or making incorrect statements like jihad is only defensive. This is a distortion of Islam. The good news is we can teach the correct doctrine of jihad in Islam with no sugarcoating.
Dear friends, I hope I was able to show you the real concept of jihad, dawah and taqiyya as Muhammad practiced it. Don't be deceived by claims that Islam is a peaceful religion. At its core, Islam aspires to conquer and rule the whole world. If you find this lecture helpful, please like this video. Also, subscribe to this channel if you want to receive regular updates about new lectures and videos. If you have any specific question, you can write them in the comments and I will be pleased to answer them. You can find more information in my book and download an ebook version for free on your website. See you again soon. Good day and God bless you.